Please, make yourself comfortable. Not as beautiful as your home, but this is the nicest view that isn't out where we won't be gawked at by the neighbors. I quite envy the privacy that you have. Acres of lush green land are a more pleasant sight than another set of brick walls with some voyeur watching through the windows. Still, I hope you will enjoy your time here. Short as it may be. I could invite you again, but I'd rather show you the sides of myself that are much more impressive. God knows that my lesser attributes have already caused enough trouble as it is. Are you trying to get me to say something about that? Compare your own attributes all you want, but I will not budge. Well, I appreciate that you are able to relate, even if it isn't for the same reason. Still, if I'm attempting to get on your good side and stay there, I'd like to play up my better qualities a bit more. So hopefully the next time we meet, it's in a much nicer place. Maybe the Cape on the southern border of the city, or possibly a private dinner. Nothing too conspicuous, though. Too much publicity and I might get another earful from you. I hope that my home is at least private enough for today. Better than at an event with your peers around. Of course it's for a reason. I've been meaning to ask you again ever since. Would you allow me the honor of courting you, my dear? I am beyond thrilled to hear you say that. I've been preparing how I'd approach this again after that first failed attempt. I had to sit back and think about how I would change my personal view of what I wanted out of a relationship with you. It is less to do with the approach and more why I took it to begin with. It wasn't some blunder because of my lack of foresight into how socially acceptable it would be. I knew going in that my intentions were not as pure as they should have been. As much as I don't want to admit it, your looks did play a part in the decision. I noticed you weren't often approached by your peers for anything other than your work. I understood it as them not considering you desirable, and yet you are the heir to a commercial empire with wealth I could never have hoped to obtain even with my own accolades. And neither did I expect Sir Faber to either. And so, when he gave up a life with royalty to spend it with someone of lesser wealth, I felt the need to do better. But even with slaying a beast, no one of greater stature than that even so much as looked at my way. Those of similar standing may have considered, but I wanted something greater than that. And still, I cannot compete with the likes of nobility, so I chose to look in a place where no competition stood. You were what I consider the best of both worlds, and it helped that I could see many of the same values about hard work and building your own legacy that I hold within you. You still are, really. I am honestly grateful that what I thought of you initially turned out to be a severe underestimation. When I met you, the one thing I wanted to hear more than anything else from you was, why me? Why would someone who has gained the accolades she has chosen to approach me? The darling of the kingdom for her heroic efforts. And yet, now I stand before you today, asking myself the very same thing. Why would the heir of one of the longest standing and most lucrative commercial empires choose to accept a proposal from some knight who can't even be promoted to captain? One that made a fool of herself for the first time. Even if it was for selfish reasons, I am grateful for your praise. I am dedicated to my work. It took many months of research, planning, and preparing to slay the beast. That sort of commitment applies to every challenge I am forced to undertake. Much like the challenge of having you agree to my proposal. I wouldn't consider you the beast so much as my previous incompetence, and I'd like to think I've conquered it today. Well, the beginning at least. I've only been given the opportunity to court you. I'm far from the point where I'd like to be eventually. I may not have any direct competition, but there is still you who makes the final decision of whether or not you wish to remain involved with me or not. The person I'm fighting an uphill battle with is myself. Should I make any more mistakes, I'll lose the chance of a lifetime. If you decide I'm unworthy, it will be a very hard time for me to find someone that could equal you. Any experiences we've had together aside, to find the very specific qualities I consider attractive would be an undertaking. And I fear I may end up comparing any other future prospects with you. That can't be good for any relationship. I need to start with a good impression now, and shower you with the love and attention you deserve. If you would allow me to, at least. Here's a question then. How would you like to receive it? Gifts? Praise, maybe? I'm always willing to try something new and special for the occasion. Please, do tell what you would like from me. I see. Have you ever been kissed before, my dear? You don't have to answer. I'll find out in a moment anyway. Seems like you have now. And clearly, I have with you too. And that's all that really matters. As hardworking individuals who pride ourselves in the development of our craft, I'm sure with more, we'll get better at it. Experience or none, I feel the love behind it. Enough that it's safe to say that I'm being desired as much as I've always wanted to be. Given how fleeting everyone's attention has been, I wouldn't be surprised if my 15 minutes of fame are already over. Soon enough, we'll have some other hero take the spotlight, and I'll be a distant memory. Then, I expect you to make up for all the attention I'm losing out on from the masses. How about this? What you do for me, I'll repay you back in full. How does that sound? Even more than. Whatever it takes to make you feel desired. You deserve it.